Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy freaking Monday. I think it's Monday. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Holy moly, what's going on? Tether CEO is clapping back at Brad Garlinghouse. Tether CEO is clapping back at Ripple CEO. But two Brads had something to say. Two Brads, not just Brad Garlinghouse. Two Brads had something to say. Look, XRP entertaining content creators are at it again. Holy smokeola. Holy smokeola. What is going on right now with the market? The market is just doing what the market does. It's just doing what it does. Been doing my DeFi stuff, but doing my thing there in three positions. I can't wait to share that with you guys. Share this new liquidity pool, share that stuff with you guys. It's going to be really, really cool when I get a chance to do it. For sure. Learning a ton. Learning a freaking ton. Keyless. The lady of crypto was in the building. How are you, miss? And you were first. How about that? What's going on, Alex Yeet? About to start driving back to the terminal and finish my day. I hear you, my guy. Be safe, bro. Be safe for sure. When moon siege, right? When moon. They talking about something's gonna happen this summer. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just making some gains in DeFi, seeing what's good, taking advantage of this ranging movement in the digital asset space. Listen to Data Dash earlier. Was it this morning? Yeah, I think it was this morning. And the short term is not looking so great for Bitcoin in the short term. In the short term. So we'll see. Look, I'm going to get into some stuff because, I don't know. I think the entertaining content creators just did not get the message that blockchain backers shared. Didn't get it. Still throwing shade on builders. It's still always the builders. It's never anyone else. It's the builders. It can't possibly be something else, right? So, craziness, crazy. It can't possibly be anything, you know, with Ripple. Ripple is just spotless, clean. Can't be anything with Ripple. It just has to be something else. Can't be Ripple. It has to be regulatory clarity. Can't be Ripple. It's the builders. It can't be Ripple. It's the United States government. Like it's something. Can't be Ripple. Unfreaking believable. These guys, unbelievable. All right, so what are we gonna cover, man? I mean, I don't know. This market is crazy. So let me go over this freaking Tether CEO clapping back, clapping back at Brad Garlinghouse. I'm not, I don't know if I'm gonna read the whole thing. It's kind of long. It's kind of long, Keyless. It is really kind of long. Let's see. Let's see if I can't find her. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's go over here. Life is good. Life is good. Ah, yeah. It's gotta load. Forgive me while this thing is loading. Let me take a sip of my favorite libation right here. Yeah. So Paulo Ardono clap back at the Ripple CEO because we all know we've seen the videos. I mean, Brad Garlinghouse said, flat out, look, the United States government is going after Tether. Those were the words. There was more after that, you know, but those were the words going after Tether. A couple of things with that. U.S. government went after Ripple. They had to, if you're in the right, you're in the right. If you're not, you're not. My whole thing is, why is everything is always about, this kind of scared thing. with the government, or that when the U.S. government comes, hell's to follow. I mean, I don't know, but this is some interesting stuff, Keela's coming from the Tether CEO. Interesting stuff. An uninformed CEO leading a company being investigated by the SEC, launching a competitive stable coin. I don't know what this qui protest is being reported spreading fear about USDT. Let me give you an update on Tether's ecosystem, the USDT ecosystem safety. USDT is the most used stable in the world, with hundreds of millions of users across primarily emerging markets and developing countries. Primarily emerging markets and developing countries. Is that right? Entire communities across these regions are unbanked, left behind by the traditional banking system because they are too poor to be of interest, and are using USDT daily as their checking and savings account. At Tether, we believe our main mission is to ensure that our entire community can benefit from a safe global financial ecosystem. There are, in fact, different crucial requirements that stablecoins need to fulfill in order to become widely adopted. USDT proved over time to have strong price stability, highly liquid reserves, top-tier custodians, and profound compliance. While all above topics have been heavily discussed in the past, today I want to share our updated statistics and key points regarding our global compliance work, the cornerstone of the safety of the USDT ecosystem. While I have revealed in many interviews the following information, most mainstream media newspapers evidently refuse to report such data. Unfortunately, the narrative that they are most interested in spreading sensationalistic against the uses of stablecoins and crypto across the world, likely to protect the old guard of the financial institution. The real facts show how Tether, USDT, leveraging the transparency of the blockchain technology and working with global law enforcement, is able to comply with requirements. Tether stablecoin respects OFAC/SDN lists. Respects the list. What does that mean? It respects the list. I don't know what that means. Tether is a highly trained internal investigation team, has a highly trained internal investigation team that relies on a wide variety of tools to monitor primary core platforms of Tether.to and secondary markets. Tether's collaboration with Chainalysis helps our teams to have the best-in-class software and training for a proactive monitoring activity. Tether collaborated since inception with 124 law enforcement agencies across 40-plus different countries. Tether blocked more than 1.3 billion since inception, mostly related to scams, hacks, and ML, money laundering. Approximately 1.6 million is related to terrorist finance. Tether collaborated on a voluntary basis and 189 requests from law enforcement to block wallets in the last 12 months. 90 of those 198 was with the United States law enforcement. 339 in the last 3 years. 158 of those 339 was with U.S. law enforcement. Tether blocked more than 639 million working with U.S. law enforcement. Tether onboarded the FBI and the USSS for reissuances. Don't know what that means. Tether collaborates with Israelis, NBCTF, and Ukraine law enforcement. Tether cooperates directly with law enforcement agencies, while other stablecoins, although they claim to be more compliant, they require a judge order, allowing hackers, scammers, and criminals a long time to move funds around. So let me ask you something, because I'm just curious. You guys all heard that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how venomous would you say that response is on a scale of 1 to 10? Like how like aggressive would you say that is on like a scale of 1 to 10? That's something to say. Like one being, I mean, dude's just responding back, and he's responding back, and he's defending himself. And 10 is like, dude is totally angry, cursing out, how dare you say something like that in the media and all that. That would be a 10. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? Venomous. Like you can tell when you're reading it, dude is like F you and you and you. This feels like a dude is saying, look, you can say that, but this is what's going on. This feels like a 6. It feels kind of lukewarm to me. What say you? Conscious contact. What's good, my guy? How are you? That's what it felt like to me. Felt like just kind of like, you know, a 6. I mean, he has a right to defend himself. He's like, look, I find it interesting. I find it interesting. His take on that was it was an attack on his stuff. Why is that showing that like that? Feels like that's kind of a little bit of attack. I give it a 6, not I don't think it was aggressive. Aggressive. Uh and then let's see Brad Garlinghouse's response to that response. I give like that a 6. So let's see Brad Garlinghouse's response to that response. Because Brad says had something to say in response to that. I think it's interesting. Let's see if I can't find it. Here it is right here. Brad Garlinghouse responding to that response from the CEO, CTO, CEO of Tether. He says, I wasn't attacking Tether. The next words out of my mouth during that podcast were that I view Tether as a hugely important part of the ecosystem. My point was that the United States government has clearly indicated they want more control over US dollar-backed stablecoin issuers. And thus Tether, as the largest player, is in their line of sight. Responding, I mean, I think there's words behind these words. I think there's words behind Paolo's words. I think the United States government is interested in more. When you say that indicated they want more control, I think it's more than that, for sure. Certainly, the U.S. government wants their share of the pie. I mean, these dudes are racking in billions and billions and billions of dollars a quarter in profit this Tether. And surely U.S. government wants their slice of that somehow. And surely the top banks in this country are like, what are you going to do about them dudes? Right? I mean, surely that's going on. But again, this is about a 5 or 6 as well. Says I wasn't attacking Tether. The next words in my mouth, it's just true. But Paolo's thing is true as well, because it is going to be a competing stablecoin. And my experience in business is that CEOs are crafty. CEOs are very crafty. They're crafty. You know, they're crafty. So, what I think is misleading people is to think, well, Paulo is crafty. He's he's uh he's playing, he's mixing words, and he is trying to hide from the truth or run from the truth. He's doing the CEO things. You know how they say sometimes talking the books? It's one of the things CEOs do. It's just one of the kind of keen, sneaky things CEOs do. I think it would be interesting to say Paulo's doing all of that, and to not say that Brad isn't doing some of that. I mean, come on. That's a bold statement from Brad. And it's left to interpretation. But however, you can't argue the fact that Ripple is coming out with a stable coin. Do you remember back in the days when Brad Garlinghouse with Chris Larson went on tour talking about the mining going on in China with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Do you remember that? And how that was a big time major mistake? And that how the government should be focused on that and not focused on Ripple, right? That's CEO stuff. That's CEO stuff. For sure. I mean, you're right. It's CEO stuff. I mean, no biggie. It's just CEO stuff. Right? So, I give them both about a 5 or 6 in terms of screw you. Right? That's what it felt like to me. And Brad Garlinghouse did, defend himself. He did defend himself, right? So I find it curious that the other Brad felt like he had to defend Brad Garlinghouse. I I found that to be interesting. That the other Brad felt like he had to defend Brad Garlinghouse. Yeah, I did. The other Brad. Let me share this with you. So, this is what the other Brad had to say. So, you've been partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI because you've been so above board all these years? So, are the senators lying when they testify under oath that UST Tether has helped facilitate illegal transactions for Russia to avoid US sanctions? Wait a minute. Am I not sharing my screen? Oh man, hold on a second. What the world, Siege? What the world, Siege? Let's try this again. So the other Brad felt as though he had to defend because this is a retweet from Palos, the CEO of Tether. The other Brad said, "So you've been partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI because you've been so above board all these years. So you're trying to tell me that you're partnered with the Secret Service and the FBI because you've been so above board all these years. So are the senators lying when they testify under oath that Tether has helped facilitate illegal transactions for Russia to avoid sanctions?" He goes on to say, the other Brad goes on to say, "Did it not dawn on you that offering a digital version of the only product that the Federal Reserve has to offer wouldn't come back to you as a bad idea?" So isn't that what Circle is doing? So it's a bad idea? Isn't that what Ripple is going to do? Did it not dawn on you that offering a digital version of the only product that the Federal Reserve has to offer wouldn't come back to you as a bad idea? Maybe Tether is too big to fail at this point. I'm not sure how hard this gets for Tether, but I'm glad I don't work there. I'm trying to get. You remember the Batman movie? This is what I think of when I read that. I think of the Batman movie. Why so serious? The other Brad. The other Brad. Why so serious? Oh my goodness gracious. All right, let me do this. Let me go to the live chat. Come on. Let's see here. I changed that latency too. That's what I think. I think why so serious? So let me see if it was something else I wanted to cover with you guys, because that was just really annoying. This little interview that Tony from Thinking Crypto did. Did you guys see that with the CEO of Uphold? That was really, really interesting. Now, I'm not sure what this means for the XRP holder, because we all know that ODL it's not moving the price of XRP. So I'm not sure what this does for the XRP holder. I'm sure it's great for Uphold, and I'm sure it's great for Ripple, but I'm not sure what it does for the XRP holder. XRP drops said this, the CEO of Uphold on big players joining Ripple payments, hashtag ODL. Sorry, I can't name them, but what I can say is there are some very well-known names. This is not like a fringe activity. There's some major corporations moving money this way. Again, I'm not sure what this has to do with the XRP holder, because I think we've discovered that ODL doesn't equate to the value in XRP raise.
Question, but the audience is going to want me to. And the utility use case for us is incredibly important. And one of the best examples right now is Ripple and its payment network, which is helping big companies move money around the world. And we're one of the nodes in that network that allow them to convert crypto into fiat and then to pay out to banks in some of those corridors.
Wow. Now, Simon, I know you probably can't answer this question, but the audience is going to want me to ask anyway. Are there any names of institutions that you can name drop, or that's all under NDA?
I'm sorry, I can't. But what I can say is there's some very well-known names. So, this is not like a fringe activity. There's some major corporations moving money this way. And I think it, and
so again, I don't know how that helps the XRP holder. I think people can hope that it will. Again, because there's been ODO, there's been movement ODO. I don't know that this helps. Anders goes on to say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is the most positive thing related to Ripple, XRP, ODL, whatever, I've heard in months. I do believe it's very likely companies are waiting for the final remedies ruling from Taurus before moving any serious amount of funds. And that's probably true, but what does that mean for XRP holders? Can you equate that unequivocally, that more volume on ODL equates to better and awesome things for the XRP holder? Because my understanding that it's just boom, boom, it's just pop, pop. Unless the remedies thing ruling that once Ripple wins is going to is that now still going to allow banks to hold crypto? Is that going to allow institutions to hold XRP? Or is the SEC going to come up with a new SAB 121? I get it. Congress stepped up and said, no, 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 no. But what's the next thing SEC is going to come up with? This is a bigger fight than what people realize. So it's a bigger fight than what people realize. And I say all that to say, what does it do for the XRP holder? That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in more Ripple partners, because the partners are not equating to the value of XRP. It hasn't done that. Like in other ecosystems with arguably inferior into technology. So VC Win put this out, reposted DexFi's post. So DexFi put this out. Shout out to the guys at DexFi. I hope you guys are doing well. Can't wait to hook up with you guys again and talk, find out more stuff that you guys got going on. So DexFi put this out on the 22nd of April. The Xamin team prioritizes user safety. I shared this with you guys before. User safety and support, going the extra mile to ensure a seamless experience. Whether you're a user benefiting from enhanced security or a builder shaping the future, Xamin always has your back. And VC Win just today, or maybe yesterday, said this: the DexFi Pro X app is now live and listed for all users, just not the pros. Aha. Big thank you to the DexFi Pro team for building and working with us to fine-tune the last little things for an awesome user experience. That's my word, awesome. Nothing like working with other highly motivated devs. And thanks for the recognition. Shout out to the DexFi Pro team. So that shout out to them. Let's hope they're doing super, super awesome. This chat is not updating. I'm going to hope that it updates here. Takes a while sometime. John Deaton's in the news doing his thing. Michael Marchese is in the building. How are you, my friend? What's good? Checking in from Myrtle Beach. Sean Thompson's in the building. Sean Thompson. I don't think I've seen that name. XRP Carolina. Oh, what's good, my guy? Oh yeah, glad you're still around. Oh, 100%, sir. Not going anywhere. Appreciate you checking in. Yeah, so shout out to the DexFi.pro team. I'm telling you, I'm loving what they got going on. I can't wait to see how they're going to leverage their lending protocols. So John Deaton's on here. Responding. Mark Cuban has kind of been on some stuff lately. He has been on one, as we like to say. So Mark Cuban said Gary Gensler could have taken the same road as Japan to protect crypto investors. Japan learned from Mt. Gox and other failures and adapted to protect investors. The Japanese version of exchanges that went bankrupt here survived in Japan. Metalowman says, right on, keep preaching, brother. Your megaphone reaches a lot more people than the rest of us. That's without question. Yeah, I've been saying, I'm telling you, Cuban hasn't been on it. He has been on one for sure. He's just been on Gary Gensler and the SEC. John Deaton responds to Mark Cuban's thing. It's a pretty lengthy one here. He says, let me place in perspective the incredibly important point Mark is making. Japan was one of the countries that declared XRP not a security. Yet our SEC, without any support in the law, declared XRP itself a security. In the complaint, the SEC went as far as to say that if a foreign government declared XRP a currency, it would still be a freaking security. Imagine the arrogance of a United States regulator trying to usurp the sovereignty of a foreign nation. That's our SEC at work. And it wasn't only Japan, Switzerland, Singapore, the UK, the UAE, and others classified XRP as a non-security token. John's doing his thing, man. Guys, make sure go to John Deaton4Senate.com. You can go there and here it is right here. John Deaton4Senate.com and give whatever you can afford. I've done this a couple of times now. I'll take this and highly recommend you do it. Because again, we need people in there who are fighting for us. And how many of you guys have been paying attention to the fact that people are starting to realize the power of the digital asset investor space? We're making some noise. We're making some noise and people are paying attention to it. Oh, really? I followed you right after Digital Asset Investor in 2018. Oh, nice, man. Oh, but didn't comment for a long time. XRP. Oh, how about that? I appreciate that. Sean Thompson, I appreciate that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I started that channel, I think. I had 2 channels actually at one time, but I took down, I think I took on like 50 to 100 videos because it was in a high yield investment platform space. 99% of them scams. So like, yeah, I better take those down and then started XRP channel. Michael McCrazy says, send Deaton money, some money. A few bucks from a lot of people makes a difference. 100%. I just saw John Deaton say that he got on the ballot. He got on the ballot. So which is super, super cool. But again, never ever let people tell you that you can't make a difference, including moving the price of XRP. That's the biggest nonsense ever. It's the biggest nonsense ever. The Solana price and ecosystem was moved by the community. Period. Not an institution. They weren't waiting around for Wells Fargo or Bank of America. The community moved it. The community moved it. Not with just meme coins, with qualified and highly valuable projects like Marinate financing for staking, Margin 5 for lending and borrowing, Drift Protocol for swaps and perpetual trading if you want to do that, Camino Finance for doing all of those things, providing liquidity, perpetual swaps, dollar cost averaging, all of that stuff. Yeah, it wasn't just dog with hat. It wasn't just, I don't know, was it dog with hat the most popular one? I don't know. It wasn't just the one meme coin. It wasn't just meme coins. Viable products from the community. This is what Blockchain Backer was trying to explain to the other Brad, but the other Brad didn't get it. He didn't get it. So, but I think Eleanor Terra put this out. I want you to take a listen to what Eleanor Terra says here. It's important. She says, this is new. As we kick off an important 2 weeks for crypto in the political world, MoonPay. We all know MoonPay is one of those third-party things you can kind of on and off ramp for crypto, is donating $1 million to Stand with Crypto. The company tells me. Today, this is a quote from, I guess, the guy or the girl. What the world? Why is that doing it? Today, 2 things are absolutely clear, or abundantly clear. This year's election will define the future of our industry in the United States. Keyless, do you remember when I was saying, come on, Ripple and Coinbase, these multi-billion-dollar Alex Sheet, do you remember that? Remember the videos, these multi-billion-dollar companies? Come on. And what was it, like $500,000 to the pack? You remember that? I was like, come on, bros. You're going to have to do better than that. You're going to, what, $500,000? It was like some measly penny. It was pennies. You're talking about Coinbase and back then Binance and freaking Ripple, these multi-billion-dollar behemoths, and you got like 500K in a super PAC. That was a joke. But finally they realized you got to do better than that. Finally, they realized that's what the fight was going to be to make some kind of headway. So today, two things are abundantly clear. This year's election will define the future of our industry in the United States. And it is our responsibility to step up and stand alongside those organizations that genuinely wish to positively advance this innovation for everyone. Shout out to the CEO of MoonPay. That's some good stuff right there. We're making a difference, fam. We are making a difference. And you're going to have to, you're going to have to do what you can from where you are. I get it. But just like, maybe you don't have an extra million laying around, but just like Michael Marchese says, send Deaton some money, a few bucks from a lot of people makes a difference. Don't give up. Don't listen to those people that say you can't make a difference. It's not true. It's not true. We can't. What's going on, Threadwork, Derek? How are you, my friend? So there it is, fam. I just wanted to come on here and kind of share that news with you guys. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna lay off on the other Brad for a bit. So there it is. Listen, guys, continue to hodl strong. It's going to be an interesting May. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting May for sure. Something tells me that we're going to get a rate cut. Something tells me that we are, but again, huge shout out to Blockchain Backer for doing his best, trying his darndest to paint the bigger picture. I'm not sure how well it was received. I don't think it clicked in yet, but maybe it will in some time. It will click into the other Brad and figure out what's really, really going on. For sure. Got the other entertaining content creator talking about maybe the reason builders weren't getting any stuff is because they violated some code of conduct. That the first time I ever heard of some code of conduct ever. But apparently Ripple X has a code of conduct. Oh boy. Now they talked on that call about decentralizing this grant money stuff. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, family. Look, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to end here. Michael Marchese, Sean Thompson, I appreciate you checking in, my guy. Threadwood Derek and Alex Sheet, Keyless, Conscious Contact. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you guys checking in tonight for sure. I'm going to hop off here. Stay tuned for my DeFi Level Up series. It's going to be pretty cool for sure. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams. Remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.